Reed Sorensen has led all 12 laps here at the Nashville Superspeedway, starting from the pole position. And he puts Tim Sauter in the 56, a lap down.
I mean, he's setting such a pace. He's already caught the back of the field, and there's a substantial amount of lap cars that will be coming up in front of him. So that's where maybe Carl Edwards in the 60, Clint Boyer in the 2 can make some ground up, because what we always see is those cars fighting to stay on the lead lap. They will wrestle that leader much harder than they will go after the second, third place car.
See Sorensen putting 2 more cars a lap down.
I just noticed Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. We saw him right there on the access road coming on to pit road. Now, he had a flat tire a while ago, but he's back on pit road now, and he's already 2 laps down.
David Stremme in the 14 just went by Martin Truex Jr. and Bobby Hamilton Sr. in the red 95. He wants to go by him as well.
Yeah, Dick Berggren, there's something going a little amiss on the 8 car, because he's already lost about 5 or 6 positions, Martin Truex Jr.
Well, we're listening to his radio, Larry, and what we are hearing is tight, tight, tight. Truex does not have the handles under that car, at least so far. Wait till the first pit stop, though. They'll fix that.
Well, I think that's a product of a couple of things. This is the older generation of tire that we talked about. And I've talked to a lot of drivers and crew chiefs this morning, and they said, you know what, that's the thing we've been fighting in practice. The car's not wanting to turn. In other words, you turn the steering wheel, it just slide the front wheels. And then, of course, the guys knew they had to somewhat tighten their cars up a little bit to qualify. Remember, they could not work on these cars. They were impounded. And I think that's the reason a lot of the cars, as well as the track temperature coming up, are fighting the front end sliding.
Bobby Hamilton, the defending NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion in that 95. He's in the 17th position. Another good shot of just how quickly these cars motor around this 1.33 mile super speedway.
This will be the 3rd start for Bobby Hamilton. He ran at Atlanta last week. I was talking to his crew before the race at Atlanta. Had a good run there, but I was talking to him before the race. I said, when you guys plan on racing next? They said, well, maybe Nashville. I said, maybe. That's next week. They said, this is our only car. We'll have to see how it looks after the race.
Bobby also started the season opening race in Daytona. Finished 11th there. Bobby Hamilton Racing is not far from here either, where he houses all of his Truck Series teams.
Home field for Bobby Hamilton.
Carl Edwards is riding in the 3rd position. There he is. He trails Reed Sorensen and Clint Boyer. Let's go to Jeff Hammond.
Yeah, Carl Edwards has been basically on cloud 9 since last week in Atlanta. Says that his car is just a little bit tight right in the center. He's been talking with his crew chief, Brad Parrott, and said, I'm pretty good getting in, not too bad getting off. If you could free me up just a little bit right in the center of the corner the first time in, he said, we'll be really good, Brad. He said, buddy, whatever you need, we'll take care of it. He's already told the team when we come in, we're going to make a little wedge adjustment. Take 1 round out of the left rear, so the 60 car will be coming to the front.
Larry Mack, I was amazed. I had the privilege of being in their pit box last Sunday, and they had 2 pit stops where they lost 4 positions in the middle of that race. And Carl was acting as a cheerleader for them, going, hey, don't worry about it, guys. We'll get it back. And he just shows so much enthusiasm, but also poise.
And maturity. And that's what I think you have to do. You know, there's a lot of times that the team, the spotter, the crew chief, the owner, needs to cheer you on. But then there's also times you need to try to rally behind your race team, especially your pit crew. Say, hey, you know, I know you guys can get it done. We'll come back and do it.
Larry, did you think Carl was going to make that run on the last lap against Jimmy Johnson?
You know, with 5 or 6 to go, when he was completely sideways off turn 2, I said, you know, I just don't know. And I think pretty much I saw Jack Roush patting the team on the back saying, you know, you guys had a good run today. They didn't tell Carl Edwards, because he comes back, he hits the wall in turn 1 and gets that final run through 3 and 4. As Jack Roush said, he's the real deal Carl Edwards.
Yes, he is. Carl Edwards rides in the 3rd position. He trails Reed Sorensen and Clint Boyer.
A little battle with teammates back there. The 25 car, Ashton Lewis Jr., as well as Jason Keller in the 35 car. That's a battle for the 12th position.
There's your leader, Reed Sorensen, has led all 21 laps here at the Nashville Superspeedway. You're watching FX. Reed Sorensen continues to hold point here at the Nashville Superspeedway. 1.33 mile track. Open for business in 2001. Sorensen won his first pole position here earlier today in the Busch Series. Now he's trying to knock down his first win. As you see the interval, how it's grown to 3.45 seconds.
See, the sponsor on this car this week is Coates. Discount Tire is the primary sponsor, but Coates is a company that makes wheel balancers and alignment machines, and Discount Tire Company is their main account. That's the reason it's on here this week.
Well, I know one thing. Dick Berggren is never out of line. Dick?
Oh, you're too nice. Reed Sorensen has said virtually nothing to his crew other than that the car is pretty good. I guess it's pretty good because he is opening up a big lead. Meanwhile, his crew chief, Brian Patty, on virtually every lap is telling Sorensen the same thing. Be smooth, be smooth. Don't want to go too fast, don't want to wear this car out. We're on lap 30 now, and I think Sorensen has heard that 35 times so far.
Well, I think that's what they have to tell this young man. I think this man will run just as hard as his equipment possibly can, but with over a 3-second lead and starting to work lap traffic at a racetrack that's not very forgiving, a one-group racetrack, being smooth and being patient this early in the race is about the best advice I think Brian Patty can give him.
And speaking of which, let's take a look at a hairy moment a moment ago between Shane Meal and Kenny Wallace.
Now, they were battling for the 6th position. Now, Kenny Wallace in the 22 did not get into the back of Shane Meal in the 32, but he ran up there in a hurry in the middle of the corner, took the air off that rear spoiler, took downforce away, and got Shane Meal in the 32 loose.
And Larry, you said it at the top of the broadcast. They are on such a ragged edge here as caution comes out for the first time today on lap 30. Tony Raines in the 33 had started in the 14th position. He's got a flat tire.
And that was a big break for a lot of cars like David Green, Aaron Fike, Brandon Miller. A lot of guys, Stanton Barrett back there, Justin LeBannon just about to go a lap down to Reed Sorensen, our leader.
Tony Raines is sharing that number 33 car, sharing that ride with Tony Stewart.
They're going to go ahead. It looked like it had a left front flat, but they're going to go ahead and change all 4 tires right now, which would be the smartest thing they can do since he's already on pit road. Biggest thing, they're having a tough time, you can see, getting the jack under the left side of the car because of the left front being flat.
Well, Larry, I'm curious. 31 laps now on the board. Do you come down to pit road, or do you still try to hold to your strategy?
Way too early in the race. This is about halfway through a run. Get me 4 tires. Get me those adjustments a lot of teams have been talking about. Get me full of fuel, and we'll make those adjustments most importantly right now, because this racetrack will continue to change. I think it will continue to tighten up, Jeff Hammond.
That's right. Right now, the 60 car is getting ready to make his pit stop, and Brad Parrott has called for a, like I say, slight chassis adjustment whenever Carl Edwards comes in. Right now, Cameron Cobb leads him out. He's a jack man. Car's going to go up on the right side, and he'll be making a 4-tire stop and making that little adjustment out of the left rear to make the car rotate through the center of the corner better. Dick?
Has just heard from Brian Patty as he pits out of the lead. He is in the first pit box. Patty has told him, don't speed, get the car in the box right, do everything you're supposed to do. He has a free area right in front of him, so he will not be boxed in. It's a 4-tire change. This is one of their sets of tires. He was in first, he's out first.
I tell you, the crew that had a heck of a pit stop. Kenny Wallace, the 22 car, came in running about 6. Looks like he's going to go out second behind our current leader, Reed Sorensen, in the 41. Good pit stop for that group. Their car's good. The pit crew's on the mark.
So everybody gets off pit road cleanly. Today's Pit Shop and Performance is brought to you by Craftsman. So everybody off pit road. We'll come back and reset for the start here at the Nashville Superspeedway.